If we have not met before, my name is Cheryl Feldman. I am a product manager in platform. I am what they call a domain lead, and I cover 2 domains. I cover user access as well as setup with Agentforce that we're covering today. And I'm joined by 2 incredible speakers today. Laurent and Andrea, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello, everyone. My name is Laurent Kubaski. I'm a product manager at Salesforce, working on setup with Agentforce. And despite my flawless English accent, I'm French, coming directly from Paris, Texas.
Texas. And hi, everybody. I'm Andrea Dorofte. I'm the technology director at Salesforce Ben. Really excited to be here. Thank you so much all for coming. And thank you guys for having me.
And Andrea, thanks a lot for being with us today. So you are with Salesforce Ben. And I'm sure that many of you know Salesforce Ben. Raise your hand if you know Salesforce Ben. All right. It's not that I do not trust you, but let's do a quick quiz to see if you really know Salesforce Ben. In Salesforce Ben, what does Ben means? Is it business enterprise news? Okay. Is it Benioff ecosystem news? All right. Is it Ben McCarthy? Oh my God, it was way too easy. Andrea, which one is it?
Yeah, of course, the audience is right as well. So it was Ben McCarthy. Ben is our CEO and founder. So what started as a Salesforce blog back in 2014 is now a media company producing various types of content for Salesforce professionals. Now, last year we published over 8,000 articles, and this year we're planning more articles, of course, more events, and also 45 webinars. Now, so stay tuned for more release content, more insights from our surveys, more webinars, and our very own SFBen conference this year in London in November.
So Andrea, a few weeks ago, you reached out to me and Cheryl, and you said, hey guys, I'm writing an article about setup with Agentforce, and I have a few questions for you. Can we meet? And we said, yes, but there is a price to pay. The price is being on stage with us at TDX.
Hey.
So thanks for paying the price, right? And before we talk about your article, we need to talk about setup with Agentforce.
Thanks, Laurent. So let's talk about setup. So how many of you are admins out there? Awesome, love to see it. And you've probably been in setup and you said, okay, there's like hundreds of pages here, where do I go? And actually, there's thousands of pages, close to 1,300, and I know that because Laurent counted them all.
Because I have nothing better to do in my life.
And then there's inconsistent experiences. The only thing consistent about setup is it's inconsistent. And the documentation is everywhere. There's help and training, there's Trailhead, there's the admin blog, there's the developer docs, and probably other places I'm forgetting. And this probably looks like you when you're trying to figure out where to go and set up, what you're supposed to do, you haven't turned on something in 10 years, you need to turn it on again, and you're not sure where to go. This probably looks like you. So what are we doing about it? Set up with Agentforce. And so what we offer is natural language support for your most common tasks. We also offer in-context help and navigation. So if you're not sure how a feature works or want to learn more about a feature, you can ask the agent, and it will provide you summarized instructions based on our help and training. But not just that, it actually provides you a link where to navigate and set up so you're not trying to figure out, okay, I understand the feature, now where do I go to actually set it up? We actually put a link right in front of you. And we also offer a redesigned setup home. We actually heard from all of you at TDX last year where you're like, setup home is pretty much useless. So we wanted to make it useful, and I am sure that setup home will become your new best friend.
Okay, so this session is called Complete Your Admin Tasks Faster. And if you just realize that you are in the wrong room, too late. The doors are locked. Let's take some concrete examples, right? Let's say that you want to see all the flows modified by a user on a specific date. Today, to do that, you need to create a list view, and you need to set some filters. I tried to do this, took me 30 seconds. Or you can ask the agent exactly what you see on this slide. You can ask the agent, show me all the flows modified on March 24 by John Doe. You will get the answer in 15 seconds. So in this case, the agent allows you to go 50% faster. Can we go even faster? Yes, we can. Another example, you need to create a custom object with 3 fields, a date field, a pick list field, and another pick list field. I tried to do this in Object Manager, took me 3 minutes. Or you can ask the agent exactly that, and the agent will create the object and the field in 45 seconds. In this case, 75% faster. Can we go even faster? I don't know. Let's say that you want to see the list of all the users in your org who have a specific system permission. I asked this question to Cheryl a few weeks ago. I said, Cheryl, how long does it take? And she told me, Laurent, if you want to do this manually, you need to open the user records one by one to see if they have this user permission. It takes 15 seconds per user. You have 100 users in your org. Do the math, 1,500 seconds. Or you can ask the agent this. You will get the answer in 15 seconds. So in this case, 100% faster. These are just examples of what things you can ask the agent. Here is the full list. The agent supports all these admin tasks: object management, flow management, user access management, and so on. You can use natural language to engage with the agent using about all of these admin tasks. I know I'm going to demo, Andrea is going to demo some of these admin tasks to you. At first, we wanted to demo all of them, but this would have taken 2 hours, which is not so long. It's the average time it takes for French people to have lunch. But we don't have 2 hours, so I asked Andrea, hey, Andrea, you are writing an article. What do you want to talk about? So Andrea decided that she wanted to talk about user access management, org health management, formula management, setup, audit, trail. Andrea, that's your big moment. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, first demo of the day, org health management. First, let me explain what this is. You are an admin, right? How do you know what you need to pay attention to, right? How do you know if your org is secure? How do you know if you have enough licenses left in your org? How do you know if you are about to reach your data storage limit? Today, you need to click around in setup. You need to navigate setup to get all this information. We've set up with Agentforce. We show you what's important on setup home. You will see what we call the org health tiles, telling you exactly what you need to pay attention to. This allows you to switch from a reactive mode to a proactive mode. Let's see this in action.
Thank you, Laurent. So Setup Home has a brand new experience for us to enjoy and interact with Agentforce on. As you can see, we could write our own prompt, choose one of the predefined ones up there, or start going through the org health and usage tiles and select the one we're interested in. Let's actually start first with asking Agentforce about our licenses. So in just one click, the agent is going to have a think and come back to us with a full list of our active licenses and their current usage. We could continue the conversation with Agentforce here, but let's actually go back to Setup Home and choose a different tile to test out. Next, we're going to ask Agentforce about our security health score. Note that once again, the prompt is going to be automatically generated, so we don't have to write anything. The agent is going to review our score and come back to us to tell us that it's 73%. That's good, but we know we can improve it. So let's review our security settings. In this example, we're not going to look through everything. We just want to focus on the high-risk ones and also just the non-compliant ones that we can action. Once we're going to tell the agent what we want to see, it is going to come back to us with a filter list that we can note that most of them are session settings. So let's go ahead and also ask the agent how we can configure the session settings. Now, as soon as we send the prompt, what the agent is going to do is going to review the documentation on help.salesforce.com for now, and it is going to let us know what we need to do to make the change. As you can see, it is not going to send the entire documentation. It is going to put bullet points for us to take action on, and also the sources that it took. Also, as Cheryl mentioned earlier, we have the suggested setup page for us to go ahead and make changes. Last but not least, going back to setup home once again, let's take a look at data and file storage. So we're going to ask Agentforce to take a look at it and come back to us and tell us how we're doing on it. Now, the agent, after reviewing, is going to let us know very quickly that we have a certain limit and also the current usage. Just as easily, the agent can let us know who the top consumers are so that we can have a conversation with them, review their usage, and start optimizing it.
So let's recap. Thanks to Setup with Agentforce, you have all these new org health metrics on Setup Home. We support many, many of them. In this demo, we only decided to show 3 of them: most used licenses, security health core, and data and file usage. More will come on the roadmap, and we are going to talk about this soon. But for now, it's time for demo number 2, Cheryl's other favorite topic.
Thank you, Laurent. So at TDX 2 years ago, we surveyed a bunch of admins. We actually got about 300 responses, and we asked you, how much time are you spending on average troubleshooting user access? And know what you said? You said on average, you're spending 20 to 25% of your time troubleshooting user access. That is the equivalent of 1 working day per week. And my goal has always been to give you back that 1 working day per week. And I think with the demo you're about to see, you're going to start to see how that's going to happen. So Andrea, take it away.
Thank you, Cheryl. Before we dive into user access, let's actually start by asking Setup with Agentforce what exactly it can help us with. Granted, we're not going to use every single feature every day, but we need to know what it can do so that we can decide when it's more efficient to use the agent. Now, after it will have a think, it is going to come back to us with its entire list of capabilities. However, for this demo, we're going to focus only on user access management, as you can see there. So let's double down on asking the agent how exactly it can help us with user access management specifically. It is going to come back to us and let us know it can help with user, field, and object permissions, as well as permission sets and permission set groups. That's great, because in our example, we want to see if our colleague Jose has access to this customer visit custom object. Access is a broad term, so let's see what the agent comes back with and how quickly. Great, so Setup with Agentforce identified that our colleague has read access to this custom object, and also it provided us with the familiar list view from user summary. Now let's continue by asking the agent how exactly is this read access granted. So it is going to let us know that the access is granted via this customer visit access permission set once again, but we don't need more details about the permission set. Let's say we know it. We want to ask the agent to start make changes. So in this example, we want to ask it to grant edit access to our colleague as well, directly in the permission set. Now, the agent is not going to proceed with the change immediately. It is going to review our permissions, so nothing that you don't have access to do already is not going to be done. And also, the agent, once ready, is going to come back to us with an overview draft of the change for us to approve. So you see the change there. We can then save it, and the agent will understand that the change can go ahead and is going to make it happen for us. Once the change is ready, the agent is going to confirm it. Now, another thing that I'm very excited about that the agent can help with is querying setup audit trail. So in this case, because we just made changes to this permission set, let's ask it to show us the entire history. So you're going to notice that there is no download happening, so that's great news for us. And the list itself is going to come up with a brand new column called AI Agent, which is going to let us know if an agent was used by an admin to make a change or if it was done manually. Other than that, the same information from Setup Audit Trail is available, as well as a little search bar for us to find exactly what we need to know, regardless of the length of the history.
Thanks, Andrea. Okay, Let's recap what we just saw. So first you saw the capability discovery. And this is actually something that a lot of our pilot customers told us is it was hard to remember what the agent could do. So we wanted to put something right in front of you that you could ask the agent where it will explain to you what it's able to do and help you with. Also, you saw the permission troubleshooting. You only saw the actual object permission troubleshooting, but we handle troubleshooting all the way out to record access, as well as you saw setup audit trail querying. At this same session at Dreamforce, we showed a preview of what this could look like, and a bunch of people got up to that mic and said, I want it, and I want it now. And so we actually went back and we reprioritized our roadmap and actually moved this up in priority, because what we heard from all of you is that you're having to go to the setup audit trail setup node, and you see the first 20 or 25 entries, and then you have to download, and there's nothing else. What you saw from Andrea only touches the iceberg on what we're actually able to do. We actually can connect the setup audit trail to the actual troubleshooting to help you understand what actual changes happen to that user. So it's something I am super excited about, and I'm going to pass it back to Laurent to talk to us about formulas.
Last demo of the day, formula management. Tell me what this formula does. You have 30 seconds.
Too much?
Anyone? Come on. No one? Okay. Okay. This formula calculates the number of business days between two dates. And now you are all like, oh yes, we have seen these types of formula in the past, right? We have no clue what they do. They were written by someone who's not in the company anymore, right? So being able to understand these types of formula is really something that's needed. Also, being able to create a formula like this from a natural language description. That's exactly what setup with Agentforce can do, and that will be our last demo of the day, Andrea.
Great, thank you, Laurent. So last but not least, let's see how setup with Agentforce can help with formula management. So we're going to start with a very familiar example and ask Agentforce to explain the formula Laurent just showed on the previous slide. Now, the advantage of this capability is that you no longer have to go line by line to understand what the formula that perhaps somebody else created does. Instead, the agent is going to nicely do it for you. Now, the agent is going to quickly come back with not only a description of the formula, but explain the actual logic and functions that are being used, as well as a high-level summary telling us what the formula does. In this case, calculating the weekdays between two dates. Now, we saw the agent explaining the formula, but let's have it create a simple one from scratch. In this example, we'll ask it to create the formula to display the month of a close date on the opportunity as a string. Once again, the agent will have a little bit of a think on our requirement, and it is going to come back to us with not only the formula, as you're going to shortly see, but the explanation of the formula as well. So even if you are a beginner admin and don't know what the formula does, Agentforce is going to explain it. Now, let's say we change our mind and we want the agent to make a change to our formula. In this case, we're going to quickly ask it to make sure the month is displayed in uppercase. Now, this is where the prompt is extremely important because at the end of the day, we didn't tell the agent how exactly we wanted to make the change. So in this case, the agent is going to decide for us. As you can see, what it did is highlighted the change and only changed the text into capital letters. Now, we weren't very specific, but let's actually do it. So let's ask Agentforce to use the upper function in order to obtain the capitalization within the formula. So the agent is going to review our requirement once again. Right now, we were very specific. So it is going to come back to us once again with the explanation, the summary as you saw above, but also with the formula and the changes highlighted exactly as we asked. So right now we were specific and the agent did exactly what we asked it to in terms of creating the formula.
Let's recap. As easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC, baby, you and me. Step 1, explain. Why am I saying these type of things? Step 1, explain formulas. Step 2, create a formula using natural language. And step 3, modify formulas using natural language. So that was the 3 demos that we wanted to show you today. And again, that's just some examples of what the agent can do. And good news, it's easy for you to try all of this by yourself, right? You can try the agent in your production org, in your sandbox, but you can also try it in a developer edition for free. So sign up for a Agentforce Developer Edition. That's the QR code on the left. And on the right, that's a list to our public documentation where we give you dozens and dozens of things that you can ask the agent, right? It's an easy way to try the agent before turning it on in your org. And now, let's see, I keep saying that's just the tip of the iceberg, but now it's time to see all of the things that the agent can actually do.
Thanks, Laurent. I just want to give Andrea a huge round of applause for all the demos.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the capabilities, specifically the ones based on the feedback that we've had from the pilot and the beta. So setup audit trail querying. I mentioned that folks stood up at this mic and said, we want this, and we are prioritizing as the feedback is coming in. The capability discovery, as I mentioned, this came back. This was direct feedback from the pilot, and so we reworked our roadmap to fit these things in. The enhanced retrieval capabilities, something that we also heard from customers was that they wanted to be able to find metadata, not just by the label, but also by the API name. And we also offer improved error handling. Now we know that there's the overall view setup permission, but there's lots of different permissions to do things within setup, such as the manage users type permission, customize application, and not every type of admin that's in setup is going to have that. So if you don't have access to something, it's instead of displaying a generic error message, it's going to tell you which permissions you're missing so you can decide if that's something with your main admin that you should have access to. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but we support a ton of admin tasks, as we mentioned. In fact, we support 40% of your most common admin tasks. And we also have some really great platform capabilities we've put within our experience and the agent. Specifically, I want to call out the one-click agent activation. Instead of having to set up an agent, you just enable the feature and everything is done for you. We offer the redesigned setup home with org health. And as I mentioned, that's going to become your new best friend. Now, these are all the supported admin tasks that we support as of today. So we support a lot, and I'm sure you're looking at this be like, wow, this is stuff I do every day. And so how we actually started to figure out what we're going to support in the agent first is we looked at what you're all doing in setup all of the time, and that's where we started. And this is what the one-click enablement looks like. So once you have Agentforce and Data Cloud in your org, you will see a banner on Setup Home, and then you can go and enable this. And then this is what the redesigned Setup Home looks like. And this is our growing library of org health. And this is something I think I'm so excited about what's coming, because these are things I would have loved to have as an admin. And one thing I'm asked all the time is, can I trust this? How is this working? And I want to tell you, we always operate in user context. So the agent cannot do anything that you don't have the ability to do. All changes that are made, which you saw in the demo from Andrea, have a confirmation. Everything shows a draft first, and you have to say yes if you want the agent to proceed. And as you saw, once you enable this feature, there is another column in Setup Audit Trail, so you can see if you made that change, but if that change was made using an agent. Work can be completed in production or sandboxes, as well as you can try this in the developer edition, as well as we are also powered by Agentforce, which means we take advantage of the full trust layer.
Wow.
So if that wasn't enough,
wow.
we have even more. Okay, Laurent, do you want to talk about the roadmap?
Why? What, there is more?
Yeah, there's more.
Well, I should know I'm presenting the next section. All right. Cheryl, that was great. But Nothing compares to the next slide I'm going to show. If you only need to remember one thing, that's the next slide. Remember that all purchasing decisions must be made on existing product functionality. All right, with that in mind, I want to talk a little bit about our timelines because you are used to having Salesforce ship every 4 months. We do not. We ship updates as soon as we can, basically, right? So we started the pilot in June. Right now we are in March. We call this internally our beta 2 release. Everything you saw so far, that's beta 2. Our next release is coming in June. And as you can see, we are planning to go GA by Dreamforce. So now I want to talk about what's coming in June. That's our beta 3 release. New admin tasks supported, creating formula fields. Today, you can create formula, but not directly formula fields. Creating users. Today, you can clone user. We are going to add support for user creation, editing flow, orchestrated object creation, and timesheet enablement. I will talk more about this in the next slide. And then new platform capabilities. Let's zoom in a little bit on some of these things. Orchestrated object creation. Today, you can ask the agent to create an object. It's going to work. You can ask the agent to create a permission set. It's going to work. But what if you don't know that it's the best practice to create a permission set and assign permissions after creating an object? Not everyone knows. With orchestrated object creation, the admin starts by asking the agent to create an object, and then the agent will come up with a plan. 3 steps plan. Step 1, exactly what the admin asked, and then optional but strongly recommended steps. So step 1, create the object. Step 2, create permission set. Step 3, assign permission set to users. You can review the plan, make adjustments, right? You can remove or add steps, and then you ask the agent to execute the plan, and there you go. So that's one example of orchestrated experience. Here is another one. Orchestrated timesheet enablement. Because not only do we want to create objects, flows, and so on, but we also want to help you enable features in your org. So in this example, hey agent, enable timesheets. The agent comes up with a plan because enabling this timesheet feature in your org is a 4-step process. You review the steps, you approve the plan, and then the agent does what's needed to enable timesheets in your org. Recommendation categories. Today, we display recommendations as you chat with the agent. With recommendation categories, you will have even more recommendations available. By the way, recommendations are based on your past admin activity, so they are personalized. And of course, if I don't talk about this, Sherry is going to hate me. New org health tiles are coming in June. My favorite one, the one on the left, user access health. This will tell you how many unused permission sets you have in your org, or how many permission sets you have with a low number of users. And now GA, remember massive safe harbor there. For GA, even more admin tasks coming. User access comparison, muting permission set, creating, editing profiles, field level troubleshooting, and some new platform capabilities that I'm going to show right now. Prompt library. Earlier, I shared a QR code to our public documentation that shows all the things the agent can do. It's great, but it's in the public doc. With the prompt library, all these examples will be available as you use the agent. So on Setup Home, you will have this dialog, allow you to browse all the agent domains and see exactly what the agent can do. Meaning that you will be able to ask, hey, what can you do? But you will be also able to browse exactly all the agent capabilities. Compare permissions. This does exactly what you think it does. Joe can do something. Sally cannot do the same thing. You can ask the agent, can you compare Joe and Sally? And you will see something like this, which will allow you to easily see what's the difference between these 2 users. And chat history, this will come after Dreamforce. Again, it is what you think it is. it's a way to access your past conversations and to resume them. And I have one more thing. And since we are ahead of schedule, I'm going to stay like this for a while. Cheryl, tell me when I should continue.
What was what?
Tell me when I should continue. We have
continue.
time. Okay. Our Slack integration, right? And I'm going to give this to Cheryl so that she can explain everything.
Okay. So when we announced this feature at Dreamforce last year, we got stopped by a bunch of you who said, this looks awesome, but wait, I work in Slack all day. Are you telling me that there's no way for me to get what my users are asking in a channel that I've set up over into setup? I have to retype everything, or I have to copy and paste everything? Coming in Dreamforce, everything with the agent will be available in Slackbot, including our rich UI, where you'll be able to troubleshoot and act directly from Slack. It's bringing all the goodness of the agent into Slack. So this is something I'm super excited about that's coming at Dreamforce. And
Andrea, okay, so you came to us because, let's go back in time. You came to us because you wanted to write an article and you had a few questions.
Yes.
So did we answer all your questions?
Yes, you did. And well, at the end of the day, you not only answered all the questions, but the article is published as well. If you guys are curious to take a look at other use cases that we couldn't capture in the demos today, they're there. But long story short, you've done an amazing job. And I remember last year when, well, what was back then Agentforce Setup came out, I wrote a different article. And now this year I had the chance to test this much richer experience and pretty much go through everything that the agent is doing. So thank you for building such a great tool that, as I mentioned there, it can become everybody's go-to, I believe, for org health management, formula management, and user access management, alongside all the other nice features. So thank you for that.
And thanks for being with us. Thanks for paying the price.
Thank you.
All right, and now it's time to recap.
Okay, let's recap. So we support your most common tasks for admins. We support 40% of them today. We offer in-context help and navigation, as well as a redesigned setup home with org health, which I guarantee will become your new best friend. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. We need your feedback. As you can see, we really take your feedback very seriously. We read every comment that comes in. We read everything that comes in from either our sessions or stuff that's posted in our Trailblazer community, or when you reach out to us directly. We take action on all of the feedback and we respond to everything. So your feedback is truly a gift. And we also want to know what you thought about this session in general. Do you want to see this session come back at Dreamforce? Do you want to see this session go on the road with the world tours? Please give the overall team who runs TDX this feedback if you liked this session and what we could do to improve and what you liked and what you didn't like. And what's really exciting is that session summaries will be available. So everything we discussed will be available in a session summary, which will come a few days after TDX. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We do have a mic up here. If you do have any questions, we have about 5 minutes for questions if you want to line up behind the mic for anybody with questions. Thank you so much for your time. We're really excited, and we do hope you try out the beta and give us feedback.